I really want to give you a warm welcome to our presenter for tonight, all about pathways, jump into pathways, right? Marjorie Benesh, let's hear it for her.
Are we ready to dive into pathways? My team monitoring chat on Zoom is past international director, distinguished Toastmaster, Michael Ozier. Handling the TI website for screen share is past district governor, distinguished Toastmaster, Lois. Presenting a pathways project, we have Brian Rowley. Michael, have you put into chat a request for questions and expectations?
Yes, I have
Would
one
you
question.
unmute?
We have one question.
You have one question?
Just one so far.
Okay, and what is that question?
Sharon asked, can you work more than one path at the same time? Do you have to pay for all those paths that you work on?
Yes. If you weren't lucky enough to get in at the beginning of Pathways, where Toastmasters International allowed 2 free paths for people in 2 or more clubs, and then later they gave another 3 paths, you have to pay $20 for each additional path that you wish to work. With your Toastmasters membership, you get 1 free path. You can work multiple paths. You do have to pay $20. Later, with Lois's help, we will go over choosing a path, but we won't start there. Many of us already have a path, but believe it or not, we haven't been working them. If any of you in the audience have questions, raise your hand. I did get a couple questions from Dominique, but these questions will be for later because of the type of questions they are. Throughout the presentation, there will be time to ask questions. On Zoom, please raise your digital hand. Michael Ozier will draw your attention to myself. In the audience, raise your physical hand or shout out, hey, Marjorie, I have a question. We're friendly here. First of all, I want to remind you that Lpsicking is our District 12 Pathways champion. Michael Ozier has information for resources to put in chat. It has her contact number. It has other resources. Lois, it does have her email and phone number. Lois is willing to go to any and all clubs to provide pathways training. At the table at the back where you come in, there's a handout with resources. And I left them up there for people to come in. I do not have an extra one, but there are some on the back. Resource information sheet. To get started, Lois, will you please bring up your My Home on the Toastmasters website? Please go to Basecamp. Clicking on, how about that? Go to Basecamp. I will give a brief overview of this page. This is the landing page. It's also called the Paths and Learning page. And it is also called the Learning Dashboard. There's a tab over to the right that says Learning Dashboard. Learning Dashboard, Paths and Learning landing page is all this page. If you are a club officer, to the right of Learning Dashboard is Base Camp Manager. If you are not a club officer, you will not see Base Camp Manager. The bell. The bell is like your text messages, your email. It is notifications. And if you want to remove the little dot, it looks like there's a little dot to the right of the bell. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. If you want to remove that dot, click on View All. Then, wait a minute, then click Mark All as Read. To the left, click Mark All as Read. Then the dot will go away until a new notification comes in. Then the dot comes back. This is where you can get immediate notification if your club vice president education or another officer, base camp manager, approves your completed level. They get an email, they also get a notification. As soon as it's approved, the notification comes in on the person who completed that level. That way, I don't have to call or search. Have they approved my completed level yet? Have they approved it? It shows up right away. Besides Paths and Learning, there's achievements, which we will go over later, feedback, and resources. We will start with Paths and Learning. Lois, you can open up your path and take it away. Share your knowledge of the path. Please be patient. The internet is slow. It takes some time to connect.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. In Paths and Learning, you are brought to this page where it shows your active paths and your completed. Just FYI, in your completed path, you can go back and review electives and things you've already worked on and even add more electives as your needs go. And so let's go to motivational strategies. This is a path that I have in progress. And like Marjorie said, be patient here. On your left-hand column, progress 43% complete. This path in itself from levels 1 through 5, I have completed 43%. I always go to the overview, which shows all paths 1 through 5.
That's project levels 1 through 5.
And thank you so much, Marjorie. Again, here in level 1 is the same for all paths. Many of us have done level 1 already, but many of us have not. It begins with your icebreaker and so forth. As you go through these and complete these assignments, you get a green check mark. And the same with level 2. Level 2, though, is a little bit different between some of the learning paths. I am now working both levels 3 and 4. In level 3, I have completed 3 out of the 5 different assignments. I am currently working on understanding emotional intelligence. In level 4, I've completed 1 out of 5. And I bring this up to show you that you can jump around and complete different assignments. However, you can complete all the assignments in level 4, but you cannot take credit for that level until you have completed and confirmed that you have done all the assignments in the project and signed off on level 3 completion and confirmed it.
Lois,
Let's go.
Lois, there's a question right there.
Oh, thank you.
Karen asked,
Okay,
what's
What
that?
is
No,
the,
it's about this. How do the green check marks show up, Lois?
it's automatic. And
Once you complete the level?
and let's go to understanding your communication style. Once you complete the level, you do the before assessment, you do the project, you give your speech, you do an after assessment. And then here we go. As I was saying, understanding your communication style. There are different assignments within that. Introduction and assignment, learning in understanding your communication style. Know and wonder, which this is beautiful because you can add items. You can add items to this. What you know and then what you already know, understanding your communication style. I've had some past work in that, but I wonder about other things. And so I will be adding a new item here on what I know, and also a couple of items here under I wonder. And then and it follows that you will go through completing these different assignments. And what I really like about this revised pathways that was launched since October is it's more succinct, it communicates better, and it's user friendly. I thought I loved the legacy program, but this it's really quicker. Discover your communication style. It walks you through this. Review and apply. Here is another page where it asks you questions, and you really have to think about it and be insightful. And I am learning so much more about myself, and it's about self-awareness too. And you can document this and review it again later. And then you complete your assignment, and then you complete your project. And in completing your project, you go through the whole process again, what you know, what you wondered, and now we add a new item, what we've learned. And after you complete your project, then what, Marjorie, is this a good time for me to talk about this?
yes.
Okay, so when I just completed a speech at a club last Thursday, and I emailed my evaluator. When I found out my evaluator, I emailed her my speech title, the date of the speech, and the club that I was giving it to, which was, oh, here we go, Clean Air Warriors. My evaluator was May. So here we go, May. Select your evaluation resource. And I was communicating change. What I did too was, in addition to the objectives of my evaluation, I wanted her to assess me for certain other concepts, ideals, filler words. I want to stay within time. And then this is what it's such a wonderful resource. I save this to my speech log. I save it to my speech log, and then this feature emails my evaluation form to her. Okay, so you don't have to download it and send it to her and she fill it out and then email it back to you. This is all automatic. What did happen, I sent this to her on Thursday. She gave me the oral evaluation, but she did not try to complete the evaluation in writing until Monday, and the link expired. So I just want you to know that when you get an evaluation like this, if you don't fill it out during the club meeting, do it that day or else it will time out. Does that answer your question?
Not her question. What's the importance, Lois, of that speech log for officers?
Very good. What the importance is that when you're the education vice president, you have to confirm. Well, there's two importances. As education vice president, you need to confirm that those speeches were actually given. And then also, it's good for you to know which club you gave a speech to if you want to take that feedback and give it again at another club, or if it's a good log for you. Would you like me to show you where the log is?
Oh, not yet, because we're
Okay.
not finished. When you use the speech log feature, club officers
You're frozen.
can see that in Basecamp. They can see the title and the date that speech was given. But you have to use the speech log in your project in order for the club officers to see it. When you complete the project, the next page, after the speech log page, the next page is completing the project. It takes a submit and a confirmation. Once that project is completed, the green check mark shows up automatically on the overview. The green check mark is for each individual product you're working on. And it shows up automatically when you complete the project. And it is a double step. You mark it complete and then you confirm mark it complete. Are there any questions about going through a project?
So Marjorie, the main problem I find is people don't do that last bit, which is completing the project. They think they're done with the last bit of the level, but they have to complete the project to get all the check marks, right? That's what people
Correct.
forget to do. Okay.
You have to complete the project with a double step to get the check mark.
And I find
Correct.
that's the biggest impediment to people getting the credit. So it's really
Right.
important.
What all projects in the level are done, again, you have a two-step process to complete the level. Can you show it without submitting, Lois?
Yes, I am, and I'm trying to load it now.
Okay.
And there is a lag, so be patient, everyone, because you may think, where is my directions here? Where's my next page? Just be patient. Here is submit level 3 completion, which I haven't submitted. And a good feature here, which is a new feature, is that at the end of the level completion, it asks you, what club do you want to give this to? Okay, this is a new feature. So you indicate what club you want to give it to, and then you submit it. And then it will ask for a confirmation.
Once you submit, you have to submit a second time to complete the level.
I'm returning to the overview. Another new feature that I like here is when you come into your path, or at any time you are working one of the levels, there's a resume button right here. And this really helps save time. Resume, and it goes to the last page that you were working on. And I find that helpful. Are there any questions, Marjorie, Michael?
Any questions?
No
While
questions in
we're
the chat. Lois, there was a question about the notification bell.
Yes.
I don't know how I did this, but I get an email saying I got to go look at the notification. I don't know. Can you talk about that for a second? There was a big question about that.
You'll get an email that says you have received a notification. Well, not only you, but there are other club officers in your club that have received that notification. Let me show you an example of something that I found confusing at first. Okay, so we have a level completion here by Marjorie Benesh, level 3 presentation mastery. By the time I got to it, our president, Dwayne Nesser, had already approved it. So I no longer had to. Okay, so when I open this up, it should say approved. Just be aware that all 7 club officers can be a base camp manager. Before approving this completion request, compare the member's work and speech history, etc. And so here's more detail of what's involved in that notification. And again, as was mentioned earlier, there will be a little red dot next to the bell. And if it's already been approved by someone else, then you can go over to the left and say, approve all pending notifications. Does that answer your question?
And that somehow links to an email that you set up ahead of time? How do it know where to send the notification for you to go look?
This is why it's
Yeah.
important to submit your club officer list, because all club officers can do this.
No, that's exactly the right answer, Lois.
Thank you. Thank you. Marjorie, do you want to add anything to what I've said so far?
No, you have a question, right?
If you marked all as red when you first opened your notifications, can you select one of the messages and mark it as unread?
Not
You
that I'm
can-
aware of.
Oh. Okay, you're in approvals. Go back to the notification bill. And
View all.
all.
Action needed. Review and approve Marjorie's level 3. Open.
You can open, but not mark unread.
Right. It's, once you submit an educational, the only way you can unring the bell, first of all, only Toastmasters headquarters can unring any bell, not us. Okay? So it is, you need to have good supporting information and a defensible argument on why you need to unapprove something. And so be very careful when you approve something. And that's why we're taking some time to go through and encourage you to review the speech history and the members' work and look at the projects in progress. Does that answer your question?
No, but that's okay. I got the answer is no. That's the answer I got.
Okay, well then
Yes.
I didn't hear
Do
that
you have another
response.
question?
Was it no?
Yeah, you have to repeat my response. She didn't hear me.
Oh,
I can't hear
Brian
you.
said yes, he got an answer. Brian said yes, he got an answer. The answer was no. He can't.
Oh.
He cannot unread it. Mark it unread.
Only
Do you have a
Toastmasters
question?
headquarters.
On the speech logging page,
Yes.
Lois said you can click save and send the email
Yes.
about the evaluation form. My question is, who will receive that evaluation form?
Can you go back, Lois, to your project? It is the evaluator's name you select.
That's I have only a question.
Yes.
What if this person is not in this club?
Okay. If the person is not in your club, you have to save it and download it, and you can email the evaluation to them.
But to the world outside Margaret, right? Outside
The-
the person.
There's 2 buttons. There's a save for yourself, and there's a save and send. The save and for yourself is what you use to save the log when you are speaking in a club you are not a member, or your evaluator is not on pathways in your club, or your evaluator is not a member of your club.
Right. So here comes my expectation, because you are asking expectation
Yes.
on the notes.
Yes.
I think that should add some function where the speaker is able to manually add an email address to add a person who is out
You're frozen.
You have to.
Rob, you guys are frozen.
So this is the page that Margie was talking about. You put your speech title in, the speech date. You're not a member of that club. Okay, so you can't fill this in. And so you can't select the evaluator. You can select the evaluation resource. And in here, put the name of the club or the event that you're attending and speaking at, and the name of your Toastmaster evaluator. And and then save that log.
Just select evaluator. Select evaluator, that scroll down. And this name has to be a person who is in this club. My question is, what if this person is not in this club, or you go out of your club to another club, which you don't belong to give this speech and got evaluation? And this frame wouldn't work for this situation, right?
Correct. It does not work. The workaround is sending it manually through email. You can download the project and send it manually. They can still receive it as a fillable PDF for them to fill in.
Then I would like to see this page as a new input. To input an address, whatever number or name or email address of a person who is not in this class.
I want to
Right.
make a point here. I want to make a point here or repeat a point. You still need to fill out your speech log. This is documentation. You fill out the speech title, the date. You skip the club. You're not in, it's not your club. You skip the evaluator because the evaluator is not a member of one of your clubs, but you do indicate which evaluation resource you're using. And in the request description, you put the name of the event or the name of the club and who your evaluator was. And then you save it to the speech log. So it is documented. Does that answer your question?
That's not my question, but yes, you're right.
Thank you, Lois.
You're welcome.
Yes, Dominic.
If you have a,
Stand by. I don't think the people on Zoom can hear him when he's speaking because they could not hear
I
me.
can't-
So whenever.
I can't hear. Please repeat the questions and comments.
Thank you.
It wasn't answered. Okay. I thought I transferred the message to.
my question is, if you have a last minute evaluation change, for a last minute evaluator change, maybe your evaluator doesn't show up. Do you then follow the same steps with the manual download for the new evaluator?
The question is, if your evaluator doesn't show up, what steps? If the evaluator doesn't show up, what I do is I have ready easy access. I email myself the evaluation form, and if the evaluator doesn't show up, I can put in the email name of the person who will be evaluating. I can email it, and I also can put it in chat. I pull it up from my downloads. I save the evaluation form in my downloads, and on Zoom, if we're on Zoom, I can put the evaluation form in chat, and I also can email the evaluation form to the evaluator. When I am going in person, I take a hard copy with me, just in case the evaluator wants a hard copy or doesn't show up and someone else is evaluating. Does that answer your question, Dominique?
No.
There is a third method that you can do. A third method that you can do, and that is at the beginning of the meeting. When the evaluator hasn't shown up, you will be evaluated. Who is it going to be? Marjorie, if it's you, you're in my club, you're there. And so I say, Marjorie, I've just sent you my evaluation resource. Check your email. because once you complete, then on your email is a link that sends you back here so that you don't have to mail, email, and all this. You simply go to the link, fill out that fillable PDF, and it automatically comes back to me. You will be evaluated. And once you are familiar with the system, I find that it's just easier. Once you become familiar with the
I
system.
don't. Yes. Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Thank you.
This log can be changed after the fact also.
Absolutely.
Personally, when I'm on the computer, I don't keep my Basecamp open, my TI website open, because my internet at my house is not real strong. So I don't like extra items open. It's easier for me just to click and send by email or put in chat. But Lois's option for those who have their Basecamp always open, multiple windows, that's an excellent opportunity. Any additional questions?
Can you send the evaluation form to yourself by clicking the button? You cannot, right?
Go back. I don't think your own name shows up. I don't remember seeing my own name.
If you are the
That's a
speaker,
good question. Let's find out.
that's a minor question. I think you can still. Yes, if the speaker's name is Anderson, and I don't think you can find your own name on the list of evaluators.
No, but that's a good question.
Correct.
There is another place that you can go to and download every evaluation form.
You cannot send yourself an evaluation form by clicking that button. You cannot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. The question was, can you send yourself through the speech log? The answer is no.
Correct.
And is there any questions about working through a level? Working through projects? Online? Just a note of information. There is a multiple process. You complete your level 5. You mark the level complete. You confirm you mark it complete. And your club officers get notification. A club officer has to approve it. There's another step, another speech. Reflect on your path. You have to do that project and that speech finish the level 5 level is approved by an officer. Once level 5 is approved by an officer, then you can complete the path reflection project and speech. And again, mark your path complete, then confirm marking your path complete. The club officer will get a notification. They have to go into Basecamp and approve the path completion, which is separate from level 5 completion. And before we continue, there's something new in Toastmasters. If you look at the dashboard, if you look at the distinguished performance reports and bring up your club status, the club success plan, Education number 5 and 6. A level 4, a level 5, or a DTM. It's no longer a level 4, a level 5, and a DTM. Education 5 and 6, level 4, path completion, and DTM. Education goal number 6, a second level 4 or path completion or DTM. That's new as of this past weekend. Just an FYI. And Lois, any further questions about completing a project or a level or a path? Do you want to go to resource? Do you want to go back to the landing page?
And one question about that.
Yes.
Finishing a path, if you finish a path, can you do the same path over?
Yes,
Yes, you can.
you can go back.
You can pay for a new one.
Right.
Yes. Go to the feedback tab. And evaluation feedback. This is another way to send a digital evaluation form. It is the feedback tab.
It's all your evaluation resources. It's very useful. For example, moderate a panel discussion evaluation resource. Complete and share evaluation, share, send to my evaluator. So there are redundant methodologies here on completing certain parts of the process. And this is where you find a generic evaluation resource. If you don't have access to an evaluation form, or the speaker says, oh, I'm just giving a speech, it still needs to be evaluated. Have it evaluate it by a generic evaluation resource, save and at some point, go back into your current learning path and determine where you can best fit that speech in. Every speech needs to be evaluated in writing.
Thank you, Lois. Another place to see the evaluation forms are resources.
And here we go, resources. And then what I do is I go to evaluation resources. And here you go. View all.
These are all of the evaluation forms for all the different paths, for all the 6 paths. So you can have an evaluation form that's connected to a path that you haven't yet chosen.
And what I've seen done is if you want to do an elective that is not within your chosen learning path, do that elective, be evaluated on it, and then bank it. Because at some point, you can choose a different learning path. Or maybe it's an opportunity for you to pick up a second or third learning path.
Any questions on where to find evaluation forms?
So Lois, there's a question of how do you get to the
Yes.
dashboard from the openings screens?
Which dashboard?
Let me
The
show you
TI?
something. Here under Lois, I can go back to Toastmasters.
Okay, please do that so we can walk through that.
And I am so glad you asked this question.
I know it's sometimes it's the first question, right?
You know, when you're just learning, I got lost. I went down so many rabbit holes.
Okay, so everybody, this is the home screen when you log in.
Absolutely. And if for some reason it doesn't come up, go under Welcome Lois, My Home.
And
And
then
this
what do
is
you,
your landing page.
great, and then where do you go next?
So then I go to Basecamp. And here on the right upper hand, it says Learning Dashboard. That means my academic curriculum. Basecamp Manager, that's really Basecamp Manager Dashboard. So if you're a club officer, that will pop up. This is, of course, your notifications if you're a club officer. And then your name, Lois, is always there.
And then boom, there it is. So
And there it is again.
there it is. Okay, so for everybody, you log in, you click My Home. If it doesn't show up, then you click Basecamp.
Yes.
That's super simple, but it wasn't like that before.
Oh, it took me,
Right.
and it took me a long time to figure this out. Marjorie, may I
Lois?
talk about club meeting roles?
Yes.
Here we go, Lois. Under Lois, you have these different menu options. Under Profile, you have pop-ups, and you have here, you have meeting roles. I was an all-counter on January 24th, 2025. I will be general evaluator at one of my clubs next week. And to take credit for the general evaluator, you click the pencil, you put in what role, general evaluator, and you put the date. Is this required to meet that level or that project? No, it's not required. It's optional. But as Toastmaster leaders, we need to role model this for our club members.
I've never seen that page before.
Isn't it nice? It's great. And all of these new features came in October of last year, October of 2024. So you will see that some of your club members do have speeches that are logged in around that time and forward, but not really before. Okay, so we came to a new platform from the legacy platform to this platform. So everything hit reset. Okay. So I'm here to help you learn. Yes, Marjorie, is there anything you would like to add?
Thank you. On this page, you can add additional dates that you were an all-counter or a grammarian or Toastmaster. It saves the previous dates when you add more dates. On this screen, you can remove. You can't remove some things in Toastmasters, but on this screen, you can click an X. I'll counter January 24. If you click the X and then scroll down to the bottom and save.
Are you
delete.
sure you want to delete? Delete.
Yeah. Yeah, you can delete it. And you can add more. Leave it here. I want to add something. Oh, scroll. This is from her profile. Click on the right learning dashboard. And we're back to the basic paths in learning. Scroll down. Okay, Lois has completed the Club Coach program. The Club Coach program is for any member. If you want to be a club coach, you must take that program. If you are a member of a club that is having a club coach, I recommend taking that program. If you are the club president or a club officer is required to take this program if their club has a coach. Under this new learning management system, if you want to take the club coach program, you have to send an email to clubcoach@toastmasters.org. They will load that for you and it will move into your active educations. So if you want to take the club coach program, you have to email clubcoach@toastmasters.org and ask to load the club coach program. If some of you are familiar with the previous pathways, it was available to anybody in the resource tab of pathways, but not anymore.
Someone has made a note in chat that when they go to pathways, it doesn't look like this. Well, this has only been inactive since October. Okay, so it may not look familiar because it was totally revised since October.
Thank you. I'm curious as to what their base camp looks like if it doesn't look like this. Can they elaborate?
So Karen, can you elaborate? None of this looks like what I find when I go to Pathways. There are videos and all kinds of surveys. Absolutely. We still have those videos, and I highly recommend you watch those videos. There's
I wonder if I'm accessing the old platform.
the old platform is gone.
So it's gone. Okay, so I couldn't have done that.
Well,
Well,
Lois,
Okay.
Lois, click on motivational strategies and all the videos will be there, right?
At the bottom. Well, there are videos on how to navigate Basecamp.
No, she's talking about the educational videos.
And there are also educational videos. I think they're embedded within the programs.
The training videos are embedded within.
Yes. And then there are Basecamp videos that I think are, let me go back to just the regular.
We'll go over where you can find all the videos a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay, it is almost, are there any questions on Basecamp? Yes, Brian.
I've seen a couple of places where you have an opportunity to create a bookmark.
A what?
A bookmark.
Oh, a bookmark. Lois, go back to one of your projects and show the bookmark, please. Brian asked about bookmarks.
Thank you. Bookmark this page.
Okay, so
Bookmarked.
Now I want to see, how does she get back to where her bookmarks are so she can use that bookmark that she just created?
Okay, Lois, go to your name on the right. Click on Learning Dashboard. All right, now go back to your motivational strategies. And see if it comes up to the bookmark page.
Bookmarked.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you find, if I created a list of bookmarks, how do I get to the page that has all of my bookmarks? So I can use them, add Google Chrome users.
Good question. Brian asked if there's a bookmark page within the system. I've never had that question asked of me. I've never thought of it, so I'll find out. There may
And
not
that's
be
a good
one.
question. I don't use bookmarks. I go to resume.
Oh, yeah, resume is a really good feature.
Yeah, I use the resume also.
So I'm going to
We-
unbookmark that.
Overview. Left hand side.
143%.
Yeah. There was the dash line. I'm guessing, I might be wrong. There was dash line where you can pick the options.
when you click on the lines, it'll bring up the overview.
Mark, that's a quick question.
Yes,
I know that you can only present a level 1 for one club. You can't enter 2 level 1s to a particular club you want to. You can a level 1 to 4 or 5 different clubs you want different clubs. Is there a way to find out who you gave your level 1 to?
yes. You can find out who you gave your level 1 to and go back to my Toastmasters. Click on your name. Oh,
Marjorie,
Tom
let's look at
asked
what you've
about-
done. Marjorie has completed a path. She has completed the Club Coach Program Story Collection Presentation Mastery. And her last speech was February 5th.
Okay. Tom asked about seeing where the record is of his levels and clubs. Lois, go to your name on the right. And go to my Toastmasters.
Oh, my clubs, right?
Okay. No, Lois, go back to your name. Go to my Toastmasters. Go to Toastmasters home.
Okay. Just remember too that when you're on Zoom, your Zoom bar may be hiding some of the features of Pathways.
Go to Achievement Board, please. Education Awards. And this shows all the clubs that you gave the awards to.
I have
Okay.
56 of them, and so the completion date is, here we go. Here are the more recent ones.
Right. And go back to your name and go to my home again. Up to your name.
Yes, just one moment.
Yeah, my home. All right.
Base camp.
Oh, no, don't go back. Don't go there. Go to Toastmasters home, please. Just as a review, my home, achievement board, and educationals, and a list of what clubs got what educational from you. We are going to take a break. We have a special feature. You can stop screen sharing. Thank you, Lois. Put questions in chat if you have questions for when we resume. Continuing on, we're going to cover Basecamp Manager, achievements, and choose a path. How many here are club officers? Raise your hand if you're a club officer. All right.
3.
And Lois, are you ready to bring up my home? Basecamp Manager is now for all club officers, but there are still the 3 designated top managers: Vice President, Vice President, Education, Secretary, President. And here comes Lois.
Okay, here's your landing page for Basecamp. And did we want to go to Basecamp Manager dashboard?
Yes, please. Yes, Basecamp Manager. We don't have a lot of in-depth to do because we have several things to cover. First thing that pops up on the Basecamp Manager dashboard are approvals. No action needed because these have already been done. What is really nice for my thought for Basecamp Manager is past and progress. What are your members doing? Lois will choose a club. How about Route 66? What a nice club that is.
We meet the first and third Fridays at 7 p.m. on Zoom.
On Zoom.
We encourage you to join us. I just want to
And
put
give
that
it a
in there.
moment. It's loading. We have to be patient with the internet. And scroll down. Look, how about that? Marjorie is there. It shows, oh, wait, Lois, you went too fast. Okay, this shows the paths that members are working on.
We've lost audio and you're frozen. So this shows what your members, what path they are signed up for. If you have not signed up for a path, you are not here. It shows us how far you have progressed in your current level. Amanda White has completed 1 out of the 4 assignments. She has given her icebreaker. Ziomora has completed her icebreaker, but she hasn't taken credit for it. Okay. And Marjorie is working 3 paths and she's making good progress. I also am working on strategic relationships in the printed version. The printed version does not show up here. My achievements in the printed version. Marjorie, are you back? No,
We're not
okay.
back yet.
Okay. I didn't know you could pause screen sharing. Okay, I'm going to get out of this and go back in.
Lois, is that new what you just showed us? I've never seen that before.
It is new. It
Cool.
is new. And the first time I saw this was, of course, after October. And in several of my clubs, as part of the vice president of education's committee, we have a club officer role called Pathways Champion. So I am the Pathways Champion for several of my clubs. And it's my responsibility to track this and to encourage people to complete their level 1 and then talk to them how you go from level 1 to level 2. Are there any questions right now?
Yes, I am not a club officer, but I am an area director. Is there a way
Excellent.
to have access to this so I can support my clubs?
Are we back?
Yes, we're back. There's a really good question here, Marjorie, and I don't know the answer. Could you repeat your question? That's a great question.
Yes, I understand that club officers have access to this information here, where members are in their levels. As an area director, I am not a club officer, but would I be able to get access to this kind of information so I can support the clubs that I'm working with?
You personally, if you're not a club officer, do not have access. You can ask your club officer to take a screenshot of it and give you a screenshot of it, Or if you work closely with a club officer, you can meet up and share the information, either meet somewhere in person where there's internet, where you have access to a laptop, or you can Zoom together and share this information. The club officer and you can Zoom together and share this. Take a screenshot, share it in hard copy, meet up at Starbucks and with your laptop and share it. Does that answer your question? Let's go into more detail. Click on Marjorie's name on the left and you will get more detail on the path and projects.
This is
Notice-
engaging humor.
Notice speech title and completion date not available because it was done before October. You notice level 2 has speech titles and speech dates. And this is where you see more detail what the member has completed.
There more up you click the link. That is it, right? The title, the date.
Scroll down, Lois. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yes. The project, the title, the date, that's it. That shows.
I was
Yeah.
wondering where the line for the evaluators name. There was no line for the evaluators name.
Not on this page. This is
What is the
just-
question, please?
The question was, is there the evaluator's name? And that's not on this page. This is just to show officers what they've completed with title and date. Thank you, Lois. You can close that out.
Marjorie, I did mention while you guys were offline that some clubs have included in their bylaws or their constitution a club officer position called Pathways Champion. And as a Pathways Champion of several of my clubs, and one club in particular that I am not a club officer in otherwise, I do not have access to this. So what I did was I had our education vice president do screenshots and email that to me. And then I sat down with each individual member on Zoom saying, such as Amanda here, I'm just using her as an example, is you only have 1 out of 4. And what can I do to help you make progress beyond your assignment number 1 icebreaker for you to make progress in your level 1? So that's been very helpful to some clubs to have Pathways Champions. Back to you, Marjorie.
We do have to move on. We have other
Yes, ma'am.
items. So briefly show recent activity. And again, choose a club. And it shows recent activity, what member has had recent activity. And it looks like only Marjorie has had recent activity in this club so far.
Actually, one of the things we talked about, and I want you to mention it, it won't take you long. And that is, if you have somebody in your club, more than one somebody maybe, but if you have somebody in your club who is dead set against doing pathways and signing up for pathways, what reason would you give them that they should?
I did that in one of my clubs. I said, please, would you sign up for pathways? You might want to choose a basic path like presentation mastery, it's general speaking skills, or engaging humor, it's general speaking skills with a focus on there's humor available everywhere to add to enhance the speech. You don't have to work pathways, but you evaluate my speeches. I personally would like you to sign up for pathways so I can log your name in on my speech log. So the system will keep record for me of my speech title and the evaluator. I don't have to keep extra record elsewhere. And the person said, for you, Marjorie, yes, I'll sign up. And he chose engaging humor.
That's the point I was really kind of have made, is that some people, even if they don't want to do pathways, are willing to be a help to help someone else.
Yes, and they're willing.
Started, and then you brought up the term pathways champion. You may have at least one person in your club that is excited about pathways and can hold their hand and get them started.
Yeah. The recent activity would be completing a speech or completing a level. Actually, this morning I enrolled in PATH. I completed an activity this morning. And member overview. Here is just an overview of what members have done. Please note that it would say past completion if you've already earned a distinguished Toastmaster in the old system. It would show for you a past completion because you have the distinguished Toastmaster title. But this is a brief overview, just at a glance, which past members are working in. Let's go to, click on Learning Dashboard, please. Click on the Achievements tab. And scroll down, or this, click all for learning badges.
I did. You have all earned or available to earn. And I find value in reviewing available to learn, available to earn, which I don't know why I don't have any. Back to you, Marjorie. I think they're frozen again. Let's go to feedback. You have member feedback, give feedback, select a club, Route 66, select a member. No options. Visible to all club members, visible to selected members only. So you can send personal feedback one-on-one, or you can send it to that person and let everyone review it.
Can you click on member only?
Member feedback, give feedback,
Click on member only at the bottom.
visible. Okay. Yes.
Now you can put.
Thank you, Michael. And
the-
so let's go to Marjorie,
And then you can write, this is fabulous.
isn't it? And adaptable, exceptional. Marjorie, your facilitation tonight has been exceptional.
We've never had this much trouble at the VA before over internet.
Yeah,
This is very cool.
I think so.
No,
No.
I completed them before the new rollout.
Okay,
She's
but
back.
if-
She's back.
I know.
Thank you.
but That's something different, but I can explain it to you.
It's making an observation.
Okay, Marjorie, I just sent you a badge
Okay,
saying that your presentation, your facilitation of the Speaker's Barrel Pathways session has been exceptional.
Thank you, Lois. Click on the Achievements tab a minute. On this page, what you have completed will show. If you've completed a level since October, your certificate, your level completion certificate will show here. Scroll down, please, Lois. And the speech logs for new speeches that you input in your speech log will show. There is a glitch in TI where the previous speech log from a week ago went away. They're trying to fix it and bring it back. But all speeches that you record in your individual project speech log will also show here under achievements. So your certificates will show here when you earn a certificate. Your levels completion show here.
That's not certificate, that's badge. Yeah.
I know, but
that-
if you have a certificate, it will show on this achievements
I
page.
wonder where are certificates?
Huh?
I cannot say where are the certificates.
Certificates, she has not earned a certificate since October. So she doesn't show. Only certificates earned since October show. Do you want to learn about choosing a path? Do you want to go to, you can go to your Toastmaster home. Click
When you're
on Learning, click on Learning Hub.
I just want to make a quick comment here is that when you have a new member come in, when this comes up, it will say, where can we take you today, Sean? And it will say, choose your learning path right up here. Okay. And for us, if you want to do a second path, there is a place for you to choose a second path, learning.
Click on Learning Hub and then click Choose a Path.
And there we go. Choose your language, English. And this is very important for not only the new members, but also for us as we are a year into Toastmasters. I would encourage you to take the self-assessment again. You're a different person. You do have to click on this tile here. Take a brief overview. And when I am orienting others to this self-assessment, what I do is I start the self-assessment and I work through several questions. Does anyone have a question about taking the self-assessment? I'm into negotiation, change management, and motivating others. And so it follows. And it takes longer than 10 minutes. This took me quite some time because I'm real serious about these learning paths. And they say it takes 18 months to complete a learning path. It took me over 3 years to do my first. Are there any questions about the self-assessment? I've had new members ask me, I tell them the foundational learning paths are a presentation mastery and engaging humor. And I work with a lot of engineers and scientists, and I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. They want to take engaging humor to be able to give storytelling and humor in presenting their data. So whatever path they want to choose to build on current strengths or to build on current challenges, it's up to them. We're self-paced, and it's you write your own curriculum. Back to you, Marjorie.
Thank you. Here on this page, you can view all pass options. Michael put in chat a PDF form that shows the 6 current paths, and it also shows the legacy, the remaining 5 legacy paths. A
What I like
PDF
about this page is it kind of shows exactly what Michael had. View all projects in this path, but it's right here online. Back to you, Marjorie.
Are there any, thank you. Are there any questions about choosing a path or other pathway questions? Michael, did you put in chat the resource sheet that I emailed you?
The one from Founders District?
The one that has Lois's name, my name, it has the Zoom meetings for pathways, and it shows resources. Lois, do you want to go to overview? Oh, right, you're there.
Pathways
oh.
overview includes the videos that we were discussing earlier. Go to Basecamp. This is a 1-minute video. Choose a path, pathways updates, Basecamp videos, and educational program FAQ.
Click on Basecamp videos, please, at the bottom. This shows all the different resource videos that are available to you. And I do have a handout sheet that has that information on it also, if you would like one. And
these
Michael
videos were invaluable to me to learn Basecamp quickly.
Are there questions? Yes.
Are there any major changes on the projects? I mean, the first one is icebreakers all the time, but when it comes to engaging humor, there should be some more projects involved with humor, but there are many generic, right? So are there any changes in that regard or still same?
Could you repeat the question?
Are there changes in the projects? The engaging humor path. I have the engaging humor path, and the project information looks different now on the new pathways. The information embedded in the project, I can't guarantee it's all the same or different because I can't remember what I read a year ago, but I do know the format looks quite a bit different. The information in the project is very interesting. It's good, and it's, for me, very helpful information, and the way it's presented to ask questions. What have you learned from this? And you answer your own questions. I like the new projects, how they are.
Orientated, right? If you engage humor, there should be more projects about humor. But there are many generic, like research and feedback, and evaluation and feedback. This is very generic. You can put it into any path. It cannot reflect the path itself.
Okay, Lois, in choose a path, can you go to the, oh, scroll down.
I'm in engaging humor. You were talking about that.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, scroll back up.
I wonder
This is
new project regarding engaging humor.
This is the engaging humor, and
From level 1, level 2, I think they still same. Maybe the embedded content, like you said,
yeah,
changed, but the names of the projects, it seems For me, it's still same.
It seems to be the same, yes. The name of the projects are the same, but what's embedded in has changed.
The resource educational content has changed. It's more succinct,
Yes.
concise.
Thank you, Lois, for bringing her about. I'm sorry? Thank you, Lois. Time check. I believe Tom wants to have a few announcements.
One more comment. If you signed up for the pathways before they canceled some of them, are you still available to do those?
Yes, your previous paths that you chose and haven't finished will show on your pathways base camp. They will show in base camp.
And here they are. They're called
The-
legacy paths now.
Yes, and they will show in your base camp. These legacy paths, they do not have the know and wonder assessment, the know, wonder, learn assessment. The legacy paths have the same pre-assessment and after assessment with a bunch of questions and you answer. They do not have the new know, wonder, learned assessment and reflection. Any other questions?
Quiz,
I'm sorry?
the new ask, there are some quiz asking you about some questions you have to answer.
Yes,
And there is no this quiz in the old ones.
yes. The new projects, the new paths have quizzes in them for you to answer. They're not in the legacy paths. Thank you. Any additional questions? Yes, Dominique.
Paths are there?
There's 6 current paths and 5 legacy that you can't buy anymore. Before we adjourn, Dominique had a couple of interesting questions, and I am going to put my 2 cents worth. Are the creators of pathways actually Toastmasters? Sometimes I wonder. So I'm thinking the creators of pathways are a mix of maybe one Toastmaster with a bunch of non-Toastmasters. Does the online existence of pathways discourage non-techie people from embracing Toastmasters? Does the online learning discourage non-techie persons from embracing? Any thoughts on that, Mr. Past International Director?
This is hardly high-tech stuff. It's no different than going on Amazon. So I'd say the answer is no, you don't have to be techie. Just click a few buttons. Lois showed you how to do it. And when she made a mistake, she clicked some more buttons and it all came up fine. So you don't have to be techie at all.
Yeah. You just have to follow some buttons. Are there any additional questions? Seeing no hands raised, it is my pleasure to welcome back to the lectern, Tom Jameson.